Okay, so in this video we're going to take a look at how you add objects or shapes to an existing model. Here we have this shape that we were working at in the previous video, and to me it kind of looked a little bit like a camera, so I changed it up a bit and made it look a little bit more like a camera. And every camera needs a button to be able to push for the shutter to be able to take the picture. And that button in this case is going to reside on the top of this camera. Now the thing is I can bring out, let's say, a little cylinder here, and I can raise it up using this cone to where I think it should be, maybe here, and bring it up a little bit. I mean, I can approximate, that's not a problem. But sometimes you just want to be able to quickly put one object on top of or right next to another object right up against it. And so the way to do that is you're going to temporarily change this work plane. This big blue grid we call the work plane because that's where everything is, by default, everything is placed when we bring it out. So as we bring these objects out, they just go right on top of this work plane. So in order to get something to sit on a different surface, we need to make that surface a new work plane. And the way we do that is we tap on the W key on the keyboard. And what that does is you'll see now that my mouse cursor is asking where would we like that new work plane to be. And so if I wanted it to be on top of this model of a camera, I'd click there. And you'll notice that right now a yellow temporary work plane gets created on that surface. So now I can take a cylinder. This is my shutter button. I can put it up here. It is now directly on top, exactly on top of this camera. And I'm going to shrink this down, and remember that we can take a corner handle and reshape an object. Here's a little tip. If you hold your shift key down when you do this, you could actually make it shrink in exact proportion to the original. So I'm just going to make a really small cylinder, and I'm going to move it over to this area right around there, just an approximation. Okay, well, if I leave this temporary work plane up here, then every new object that I bring out is going to reside on top of this camera, and I don't want to do that for my model. So I'm going to tap the W key one more time, and it's going to ask me where my new plane should be, and I'm just going to go back to the original work plane and click there. And what that does is it removes the temporary work plane and goes back to the original. And just to keep in mind, whenever you're changing work planes, you can actually put it on any existing surface. So if you'll notice right here, any of these things can become a work plane. Okay, that's it.